imagine this. You're here, disabled or deficient or diseased, and over there, on the other side, is health, wellness, vitality. The commitment, you've got to get over there. If you only give it 30%, it's like jumping the Grand Canyon 30%. You got to do it all, and you got to do it right. You got to go organic. You got to go vegan. You got to go high juices, living foods, right nutrients. The diet by itself will not rejuvenate tissue. It won't. I wished it did, but it doesn't. Raw food by itself is not enough. There's all these interesting pieces of puzzles, all of which have truths, but they're not. None of them are the whole truth. That's why we got to look at everything. Take a look at macrobiotics. Take a look at enzyme foods and sprouts and juices and meditation and yoga and qigong. Put it all together. Now, it may seem overwhelming, but it's not. Nothing is overwhelming if you take it one piece at a time. It's overwhelming if you just to say, change everything in your life. No one's going to change everything in your life. You know, it's like the Democrats. What a sorry group. One day they'll actually become independents and progressives. You know, like those of us who actually will look for the truth and insist upon it. I can assure you, if the progressives ran Congress, we would have a universal health care. And we would not have a Wall Street bailout of the banks. We'd be stopping the foreclosures. But we don't have that now because both Republicans and Democrats believe their one political ideology is the answer. It's not. But there are things that make sense. There are things that are reasonable. There are things you can believe in. But you got to take what works. Put it piece by piece. That's how I look at life. Here's a new piece, I'll put it in. Here's a new piece, I put it in. And every one of those new pieces I'm growing. That's progressive. Progressive is I'm progressing forward by not being held to some artificial standard. I'm allowing my mindfulness in this moment to work for me. So when I wake up in the morning, the very first thing I do is I say, what do I need today? I need something to inspire my creativity. So I become creative. I come down here, I look at the wonderful work and art, people on the streets and in the galleries, and I say, I'm going to both appreciate your art and I'm going to motivate myself to be creative, intellectually. Spend time each day doing something that challenges your brain, like turning off television, so that you have time to think. Love from the heart. Never pass a stranger on the street that's in need. Stop and ask them, friend, what do you need? Even if it's just the comfort of someone acknowledging that they're there. That's why I don't believe that we should ever disconnect ourselves from the suffering of other people. Look at the animals. Never have a pet unless you're willing to give unconditional time and love to that pet. Just feeding them, walking them, like I live up here, and you watch people run out with their animal in the morning, it goes and they run right back in, that's it. Somehow the animal's supposed to think, okay, my life is suspended until you come home, and I wag my tail, or fluff my feathers. Give quality time to your pet, give quality time to your mate, to the person that sacrificed their life to be in your life. What a wonderful gift someone gives you. I don't give a damn about work. There is no work that's more important than the quality of an energy exchange between two souls. Because how many people thought that they would have time later in life to spend with the people they cared about, but it never got around to that. There was always another responsibility, always more time, always more something else to do, and yet this other person was just waiting on you to be there for them at one time you were, and it all got sidetracked. Bring it back. Reprioritize what's important. And look at the body politic. What can you do to change what's wrong in the world? Address that. Last week we were in Albany. We had 1,200 principally nurses and activists up there. It got the legislators' attention, but not enough to make them change their mind from the pharmaceutical company that wants mandatory swine flu vaccine and the regular flu vaccine and all the public health workers in New York State. Because once they do that, they're going to go to the school teachers and then to the public. So we fought them. We fought them, and we've got articles up on GaryNull.com, original, in-depth investigative reporting articles showing you, for the first time, there is no such thing as a safe vaccine, any vaccine. Now, I wouldn't say that and risk my reputation and ridicule and all the people who believe in me if I weren't absolutely certain of my research. But I'm a research scholar. And I did my homework, and then I brought in a group of other people to review what I did, to tear it apart. I said, deconstruct it, find where I've made a mistake, find my errors before it goes out. So when we put these articles out, they're now going viral. 2,500 websites, including USA Today and Bloomberg, is now carrying the short article, the long article showing you why no vaccine in the world is safe or effective. Not one. Not a single vaccine. And we show you the fraud of the polio vaccine. We show you the fraud of the measles vaccine. We show you how they're connected with autism. So we have the truth on our side. We just don't have the power on our side to exercise truth as public policy. It's one of those frustrating things when you know you are in the truth side, but you're not on the power side. The wealth and the special interest groups and the people further downtown on Wall Street, they're the ones who are dictating policy. So we have to become informed where we can say, hold on a second, you're wrong about the measles. We'd have an epidemic of measles. In fact, the only time we've had an epidemic of measles when everyone was vaccinated. And here's the article, here's the study, here's Chicago, here's 1989, here's the school district, here's their vaccine records. And the largest amount of people ever died of smallpox died in Germany in the year that there was 97% mass immunization with the smallpox vaccine. And also in Japan and in England the same way. So we're not going to change anything in our society to become informed. My job is to try to give people information so they can make their choice. I believe in freedom of choice. I put the information out. I step back. What you do with it, your own. I never forced anyone in my family to become a vegan. I wish I should have. I could have. I didn't. Today, they're all dead. 20 people in my family dead. Do you know what it's like going to a funeral and looking at someone and thinking you didn't have to be there? You didn't have to. And yet I was the one that they mocked. I was the one, oh, there's Gary's book up there. See that book? Well, Mom, you haven't read it. Oh, but you wrote it. We don't have to read it. No, Mom, I brought it to you to read. Don't just brag about it. Read it. No, they wouldn't. Defy it. Dug their heels in. I'm not going to change. I love my meat. Yeah, and your meat loves heart disease and cancer, colorectal cancer. So, to wrap this up, my whole argument for being a vegan, a healthy vegan versus a sick vegan, was based upon a research study I did at the Institute of Applied Biology. And I'm redoing again now. I'm getting the equipment in. And when I announce it in the next 2 weeks, you're welcome to come up to my studio, 92nd and 2nd, because that's where I'm going to lay out all the equipment. But I had this equipment, it wasn't mine. It was very sophisticated. It was from Drexel University, and Dr. Douglas Dean brought it to me when he heard I was trying to do measurement of life force. And it had nothing to do with food. It had to do with a woman who was for years downtown here, Dr. Dolores Krieger, head of nursing at NYU. She founded Therapeutic Touch. You've all heard of Therapeutic Touch? Nurses doing touch and helping in the healing process. But Therapeutic Touch is actually an accredited part of the curriculum of all nursing schools. That started when she volunteered to be one of 50 healers to see if we could prove healing energy existed. I gave them cancerous rats. They cured the cancer 6 out of 6 times. That began Therapeutic Touch, proving an energy exchange between people. Because it came from a concept. When you're around depressed people, you feel drained. When you're around angry people, you feel drained. Around negative people, you feel drained. And we had a word for it, right? Vibrations. Good vibrations, bad vibrations, right? That's universal. Anywhere in the world you go, happy people, you feel good. Loving people, you really feel good. Happy, loving people, you feel ecstatic. It's an energy. And you're exchanging an energy with someone. And then you get in synchronicity. And synchronicity to positive energy is blissful. But synchronicity of negative energy, it's anger and rage. It's violence. So I said, well, hold on a second. You can't have something working in isolation. Which means that if homeopathy works, which it does, the laws of similars, then it means everything in life has to work upon laws of similars. Everything. You can't have a universal truth that is exclusive to one area. Universal truth means one law of life is applicable to everything. So I then put it to the test. I said, well, then if this is true, that if a rock, cobra venom, poison ivy becomes a homeopathic solution and can cure a person, let's say you'd use poison ivy homeopathically with a person with severe burns. All right? So then it would also be true with food.